Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Thanks for joining me. Special stream during Corona time. As you can see, I am the toilet paper king. I thought I'd make it a little bit more funny today, more relaxed. So yeah. Hi, Hendrik from Denmark. How you doing? Thanks for joining. We have different other filters. I just installed this. I just get it set up like a second before the stream, so I hope everything works out. I thought this was really funny with the toilet paper. Okay, so hey Wendy from New York State, thanks for joining. Good. Like always, let's start with a relaxed chat about questions for Affinity Photo, for NIK Collection, or any kind of thing you want to talk about, all these kind of things. And yeah. Or let's start by asking, how are you doing? How is your life at the moment? So yeah, how is everything going? I'm more like a at-home person anyway, so for me the changes are not really any changes at all, because I do most of my stuff from at home, so it's like, yeah, every day. So yeah, the lights are really bright. I don't know. I think I changed some settings, so it's a new filter. I know that I'm pretty much blown out here. I don't know how to change that right now, so sorry for that. I don't want to go into the settings right now. I should be okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the second screen here to see how I'm looking. Hey Ken from South Florida, thank you for joining. Hey Kevin, thanks. Nice to see you again. Thank you. Pedro, please try to figure out how to install Luminar NIK Collection Competitor as a plugin to Affinity Photo. Shouldn't there be like a description on their website on how to install it as a plugin? Does it even work as a plugin? I don't know. I'm not using Luminar, so I'm not sure about that. Let's put the chat here in the middle so I don't have to look to the side all the time. Hey Markus from Germany, how you doing? Frankfurt, very nice. It works as a plugin for Photoshop. Okay, that's nice. So it should technically work as a plugin for Affinity Photo. So usually you just install the software and then point Affinity Photo towards that folder, and it should recognize it as a plugin. That's at least how it works with NIK Collection. I hope it works the same way with Luminar. Hi Ionut, how are you doing? If one day you will make a thoughtful video on brushes. I think I made like 3 videos on brushes already on my channel. But if you go to my channel, there's this little search icon. It's kind of not very visible, but when you click on there, you can search on my channel for the videos. But I will show you later when we switch over to the screen. This is so, it looks so crazy with the toilet paper, and it's even animated, as you can see. Yeah. So, hi Humphrey, thanks for joining. Hi William, I'll be photographing more now. My family business has collapsed with the virus. Oh, okay, that sounds pretty hard. I hope everybody is still okay. Yeah, so we have some more time to do our own stuff, of course, now, and I hope everybody's safe. Do not work with Luminar. I don't know. I really don't know. A good place for this is always also the official forums of Affinity, because there also the team is answering questions about all kinds of software and plugins and integration and all these kind of things. So that's always a good idea to ask there, because of course I'm just using the software that I have, that I own. So about the other stuff, I really don't know much. I need some toilet paper. Yeah, here. Pick some. Whoops, did it go away? Pick some. Today's toilet paper day. We have some other filters. Yeah, I have not tried them. So today it's more relaxed, more goofy stream. We have this one also, where I look like a dog, and it has even a tongue. It's really nice what you can do with these artificial intelligence things. Let's switch back to the toilet paper. Hey, Marek from Czech Republic, how you doing? Sorry, I forgot to to put my cell phone on silent. Okay, I've done that now. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Good. Everything okay. Family calendar question. Hi from Devon in North Carolina. Hi to North Carolina. On a recent trip, I shot many photos and my inside shot in crunches and museums came out very dark and yellowish. Suggestions? Well, the yellowish you can improve with the white balance in Affinity Photo. That shouldn't be a problem. And if it's very dark, well, if it's in RAW, you can improve it a lot. If it's not in RAW, if it's just JPEG, you have to see how much you can do by improving it with curves, stuff like that. So to push it up a little bit higher to make it a little bit brighter. But the range in JPEG is a bit smaller than in RAW, where you can do a lot of stuff. You can go really bright from a very dark photo. You might have some noise in there, of course, but you can improve it a lot. So there's a lot of possibility in there. Humphrey Bear, hello. Hi, Humphrey Bear. Hi. Very low now too. Yeah, everybody's business is pretty going down at the moment. Also, the stock market's crashing. So it's a bit harsh. If the virus doesn't catch you, the financial situation will. So it's bad on both sides, but let's see what's happening afterwards and how long this even stays around. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks right now. The situation is a bit harsh at the moment, but maybe it recovers pretty quickly. I hope so, at least. I hope so. Hi Pedro, a guy from Germany installed it on AP on Windows, but it doesn't seem to install on Mac. Like I said, I don't know about Luminar. I'm sorry about that. I don't know about that. Hi Twen, how you doing? Video stopped. An error? Really? I'm not streaming anymore? Oh no. Is the video gone? It says, for me, it says excellent connection. Maybe you reload the window. You probably can't. Ah, okay. Refreshed and got it back. That's good. I really hope that this stream is working out because, of course, right now everybody's at home. Everybody's probably watching Netflix, stuff like that. I have a pretty good connection, but it can always be that in my neighborhood too many people are using the internet right now. So the stream might go out at any minute. So yeah, but I hope it runs as long as possible. The crazy hat, yeah. I thought I make it a little bit more fun today. So yeah, this is my toilet paper version. And we have other filters. I've not looked through the filters. The filter is called Snap Camera. I think it's like a software, like a desktop version of SnapCam, but just the filters. So there's a lot of different filters in there. I haven't tried them all. There's a lot of strange filters in here also. Not all of them are this kind of goofy stuff. There's something else. Wait, let me push this over here so I don't have to look to the side. Oh my god. Listen, really, what is this? Okay, we can do some really crazy stuff today. And I thought we can edit some funny pictures. Oh my god, what else can we do here? This is really crazy. So I wanted to do like a portrait, like a picture of a cat, but put into like onto a human body. I thought that could be a cute kind of effect. What the hell? There's so much strange filters here. What is this? Okay, that's a bit cuter maybe. The other one was a bit concerning. Okay, yeah. What else? There's so many filters here. The hell is this? Do I look? Oh my god. Oh. Okay. No, let's not look. Okay. Let's go back to the toilet paper before we click on something that's not supposed to be on YouTube. Okay, there we go. Sorry, back to the chat. Hi from Denmark. What? I can't read that name. HC Anderson, I guess it is. Okay. Jeff says, I have several photos taken at night with aperture of f16, f21. This gives a lot of overly bright stars from street lights. Nightmare to mask them all. Is there an easier way? That's a good question. Well, I would say the best thing is to, like, for your purpose of what you want to do, I would look up some tutorials, maybe on YouTube or maybe just from web pages, stuff that explain how to make the settings for this camera. Also, like, try around with your camera on what it can do and what kind of results you get from that. And of course, bring a tripod for night photography. But should there be stars around the streetlights? I'm not sure. If you have a consumer camera, it also has a night photo mode. You can also try that out if that helps. So I don't know. And actually, like I said, I'm not a photographer. I do photo editing, so that's a difference. I'm not really like a hardware expert or something. I want to learn more about that. I want to do more photo shootings and also film that for my channel. But right now, I'm more in the software direction. Like, it's like when you think about music and there is people who can play I don't know, a cello or a saxophone, and there is people who do the mixing of the sound, but the people who do the mixing of the sound can't play the cello necessarily. So in my situation, of course I know how to use a camera, but I'm like, if you want to know something very specific, I'm probably not the best guy to ask that at the moment. At least I try to improve on that. On the photographing side of things. William Chi says supposedly Netflix and other streams are clogging the internet and they're being asked to reduce the resolution. Yes, probably. Yeah, a lot of people are watching at the moment, more than usual, I guess. Although, I mean, who isn't at home at this time of day? Like here in Europe, where I'm right now, it's 9 p.m. So usually people are at home, so it shouldn't be more of a strain on the internet than usual. But maybe it is. I don't know. I don't have any idea on Netflix streaming. Okay. Wow. How is this? I didn't know this word is allowed on YouTube. Okay, good. Hans Christian Andersen. Yes, Hans Christian Andersen. He's really awesome. Yeah. Is he like internationally known? I think so. I'm not sure if people from the US know about Hans Christian Andersen. Like, of course, every culture has their local heroes that are like really famous over like decades and centuries, but at other areas you hardly know them at all, you know. So that's interesting. Which, by the way, I feel like in museums today, we still have this kind of colonial version of understanding of, not understanding of art, but presentation of art. You know what I mean? So you go to an art museum and the art museum has paintings from Europe, but when it comes to Chinese paintings or African art or other kind of art from other areas in the world, that's in the World Museum. It's not in the Art Museum, which is really like, what? I mean, for modern art, of course, it's different. You have artists from all around the world. But if you think about classical art, like paintings, stuff like that from, I don't know, mid-century, like 15th century or something, they had amazing painters in China too, but you hardly know them, you know, and you never see them other than in the World Museum. So that's a bit strange, I think. I want to write to my local museum about that, why they are doing it like that, you know, because especially from Japan and from China, there's so much amazing art from that kind of century, or that, not that specific century, but that kind of time, you know. And we don't even have we don't even know the name of these epochs, because here we have like the Renaissance and the, what is it called, Expressionism and all these kind of things that happened, and the Baroque and all these kind of things. But these are all European styles of art. So what was that? What was an epoch in Asian art or Indian art? I have no idea. I don't know any names about that. And I studied art, so I should know, but have you ever heard about that? I don't know. I mean, there's Ming Dynasty, stuff like that. Sorry, we should talk about Affinity Photo and photography. I'm rambling again. Oh, is it called rambling? If you just talk along, what is rambling? Well, let me look that up, and then we go into Affinity Photo, I think. Rambling. Abschweifen. Yeah, that's the right word. Rambling. Okay, that's good. By the way, someone wrote me on Facebook. Let me quickly look up who that was. 1 second. No, 1 second. That was on my Facebook page. Inbox. God. Okay, this is really low, really slow right now. So some person wrote me that I should tell people about that if you want to support the COVID-19 research, you can either use something that's called Boink, and the other one, or BOINK, whatever how it's pronounced, and the other one is called Folding at Home, which is like you can use your computer if you're not using it, or the like the CPU power that you are not using to donate it basically to research, so that your computer is part of a huge network of other computers and they can do research. So that's a possibility. The page hasn't loaded yet. Anyways, but I've researched it, I've read up on it a little bit. Like a lot of people, very, very many people are doing this right now. So their servers are pretty much overflown with requests for these kind of things. So probably enough people already do that. But if you want to do that, if you want to try that, you can. So let me put the link to a page that explains what it is, how it works in there. They also have like a team on there, is not related to me in any way, from the website unrate.net. So they have a team you can join, but you don't have to join if you don't want to. It's just like you can just have this run on your computer. So I just wanted to put this out there. That's a possibility. Okay, let's maybe do some stuff in Affinity Photo. Let's go to the chat real quick. Hi from Italy. Wow, our neighbors, which are in big trouble right now, a little bit in the north. I hope everything is okay on your side of the internet. And yeah, everybody's watching Italy right now in Europe. What's happening at the moment. So it's really, yeah. You got misinterpreted a lot. I wish docs would rewrite NIK to be able to re-edit the file without requiring Photoshop and Smart Objects. Yes, that's true. Like I would like them to have a software that's like more non-destructive, where you can go back in and edit it if you want to, because right now if you click on save, it's done. You can't change it, which is kind of strange. Yes, Affinity, by the way, that's a good point, Jeff. Thank you for pointing that out. Affinity announced that they are offering 3 months free use of their software and also 50% off. I should also post the link to that. 1 second. If I find that. I should have prepared that a bit. 1 second. Oh God, where would they post something? Does someone have the link? Oh, you can't post the link in the... I forgot about that. Let's go to Facebook, and there it should be on their page. Let's see. No. 1 second. There we go. Affinity. Yeah, Facebook is not loading for me today. Oh, there we go. No. Yes. No, that's not it. I cannot find it. They have this post up about helping artists, but I can't find the other one. 90-day free trial. So I'll post this link here in the video description. So this is about the 90-day free trial. Probably already all have it, but maybe your friends and family want to try it. This is not affiliated with me, by the way. It's just the official link. And there's also something where they say they support artists, so they want to give some paid to engage 100 freelance artists for creative work in a paid fashion. So that could also be nice. So here is that link about supporting the creatives. You can apply there, and they might pick you up on your work and pay you for that. All right. Okay, let's go back to Affinity Photo maybe. Do some creative stuff. I have to switch over. First of all, I have to clean up my screen because every kind of stuff here is right now on my screen. This is way too big here. 1 second. Whoops, sorry, I'm a bit unorganized today. There we go. Okay, let's switch over. Where can I switch? No, work live. There we go. Okay, still have my filter on. Good. Okay, so I thought we could do a picture where, let's see the browser, there we go. So we have a portrait. Whoop, okay, there we go. So the thing is I can't see my keyboard because the mic is in front of it. So typing is always like trying to get around that. Okay, so I thought we maybe take the picture of this guy and replace his head with a cat. So to do some fun stuff today. It's a bit cute. Just some more entertaining stuff, being a bit less serious today about all the things. That's not what I want to see right now. Downloads. Holy, okay, there was a folder really full. All right. And then we need a cat hat. I think I already prepared that. There we have the cat. And the light is kind of similar. So I thought this could be cute. And so let's place this in here. So go File, Place, and then select the cat. And there we go. You can see that fits very well. So we just have to put the head on there and figure out how to do that. So first of all, let's zoom in here a little bit, and I will make a pixel layer and then just brush over the face of the guy so we have this part removed. Let's go here with a brush. 128, that's too small. So let's color pick the background so we have the same kind of black. And then I just paint over it in a pixel layer. So we have this hidden and it's kind of out of the way so we don't have to worry about this showing through or something like that. Okay, so now it's like this. And now the next thing we need to do is basically, I take the cat head and set the layer opacity to a smaller, like 50% is often good. So I can see, whoops, okay, I already painted on the cat head, so that's not good. Oh, it converted into pixel. That's okay for the moment. And try to figure out where to put the cat head. Maybe here is good. Let's set it back to 100%. Didn't have to move it much. Yeah, that should be good. Maybe it's a bit too big, but we can change that later on. That's not a problem. Let's have a look at the chat. Hi from Germany, Sand City. How are you doing? So Affinity announced to support artists for the Instagram account. Yes, I have already posted the link here. One of these links. How much does Affinity versus Photoshop compete just in percent? Blah, that depends on what you need to do with it. So I would say for the everyday hobbyists or even for people who want to do more with it, it's pretty good. It's very much what you need and much simpler to use than Photoshop because Photoshop is a lot complex. If you if you need very professional tools and also are in a professional pipeline, that's important. So you have other people you work with, then probably Photoshop is a better choice because you are dependent on your network in that case. And if people say, hey, I have this Photoshop file, please use it in, I don't know, in After Effects and then also in InDesign and all these kind of things. These files need to work together and or they send you a file from something else and then you suddenly can't open it. For a professional purpose, that's not so good. But like I said, if you're a hobbyist, if you're like an artist who uses the software on his own without like other people around, then Affinity Photo can do pretty much most of the things you need. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. One thing I need here is, of course, we have here cat hair, right? For the borders. And if I now make a mask, so let's make a mask real quick just to show you. So we go here, and now if I take a normal brush and I just paint on this, I can of course like hide all of the stuff that I don't need, as you can see here, like that. And so we can go in the way like the hair is behind the fabric. But of course we know that usually there would be some hair sticking out, so we need a hair brush for that, right? So I have downloaded a brush. Let's go over to the browser real quick again. No, that's not it. Here, from DeviantArt. This is this brush here. As you can see, it looks pretty good. You can import it in Affinity Photo. By the way, I'm pretty interested right now if this works out of the box or if I have to change some things. Because in the past, with the older version of Affinity Photo, you could import the brush, but it would not import the settings because Photoshop has other settings that can be applied to brushes. So let's see if this works or if I have to do some adjustments. If not, if we have to do some adjustments, it's also a good thing to look at. Oh, by the way, someone asked me in the chat about videos about brushes. So let me show you on my channel. Let's go to YouTube real quick and to my channel over here. Like that. 1 second. Not loading. Oh God, okay. That's not good. I hope my stream is still up. There we go. So you can see here this little icon here. That's the search icon. So when you click on that and you can enter anything, brush for example, you can see that you can see everything that's kind of related to that. So you can see I have like brushes explained, then I have design your own brush where I show how you make these brushes, for example, for a chain where the chain elements are actually linking up, so they are following the movement of the brush, stuff like that. How you make, or like creative things you can do with brushes, stuff like that. Also, I made my own brush pack that you can download for free, stuff like that. Okay, so there is some stuff on there. Maybe I should do a new video about that because things have changed. I haven't looked that up actually. Okay, so basically I downloaded this brush pack here, which is for Photoshop. And then, of course, unpacked it, and you simply go to this icon over here. No, you don't. Already wrong. You have to click on the Brushes tab. If you don't see the Brushes tab, which you normally should because that's part of the standard setup, but if you don't see it, you go to View and then to Studio, and then over here, make sure there's a check mark to Brushes, and then you should see the tab somewhere over here on the right side. Okay, so after you've done this, you go here to these 3 lines and you say import brushes like that. And then you look for the folder, and you can see here's one. It's called Powerful Fur Brushes. And this is the ABR file for the brushes. And you click that and you can see it imported one rusted brush in this case for Powerful Fur Brushes. And then you click here and go down and you have here the new category, Powerful Fur Brush, and there is this one brush in here that we have selected. So wait a second, let's make a new file real quick. Whoa, okay, this is on my second screen now. Let's pull this over. I'll make a second just to show you how the brush looks on its own right now. Set the color to black. The brush is a little bit too big. Make a pixel layer so we can actually paint on that. And yeah, it's not bad. You can see it's kind of rotating, stuff like that. But it's not exactly what we need. So let's delete this. And then we go here on more, is the brush settings. You click there. And here you can, for example, say dynamics. And I want to have rotation jitter. So it's just like rotating randomly. In this case, as you can see, you can set up how it should rotate. There's a lot of different settings in here. And let's reduce the spacing. And let's see how it looks now. That's better. You can see the edge looks brushy, hairy, sorry. Brushy. Okay, that's good. Let's make it a little smaller. Yeah. It's kind of repetitive a little bit here, or at least it looks when you are zoomed out, but maybe it's okay. So let's have a look at that. Let's close this and go back to our original picture. Is the setting here the same, or do I have to do that again? Do we have to do really? Okay, that's interesting. I thought this was staying the same, but that's okay. Rotation jitter, so yeah, good. That's good. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is first of all, I need to switch back to my other brush. Let's save this brush real quick. Where actually I don't remember how you save brushes right now. Duplicate. Yes, okay. You click on duplicate, makes a new brush. That's good. Okay, good. So let's go back to our basic brushes. Select a soft one like that. Bigger. Okay, so what I'm doing now is simply painting away the things we don't need, like so. And I paint a little bit more than we don't need, like this, because then I can paint it back in white with the fur brush. By the way, down here, this is not long enough, so let's take our clone tool and make this a little bit bigger. That's too small. Bigger brush, there we go. You hold the Alt key to set the source, and then you can just paint this a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. We're done. We should maybe do it a little bit more because we need some overlap for the hair to... Okay, I'm doing a horrible job right now here. 1 second. That doesn't look good at all. Okay, 1 second. Let's make the brush a little bit bigger. I just need a tiny bit down here. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, turn on the mask again. We've brushed everything out here. So then we go back to our brush and we now use our fur brush, but now we set this to white. And this means we can paint back in our mask. Let's make this a little bit smaller, like that. And so technically, if I now brush over this, this should look like fur. Make it a little bit bigger. Even bigger. It looks great up here, doesn't look so great down here. Oh, the image is finished down here. Is that good? When you zoom in, it looks kind of good, but not too much. What does the chat say? Horrible, okay. Toilet paper, of course. Yes, still the toilet paper on the hat. Hey, Niall, thanks for joining. Hey, Jeff. Yes, got some toilet paper. I made like a special filter today on my head. What does Ken say? Ken, I love Affinity Photo. I switched from my processing from years of Photoshop to Affinity Photo and end up buying all the products. Yes. Yeah, okay. Very nice. Good. Something else? No, I want to put a cat. We can put something else another day. But the hair doesn't look very realistic down here. So I was kind of expecting more from this. Let's give it a second try. Maybe I should do a second mask on here. That would be probably better. I'm not sure. So let's take the normal brush again and remove this again. Maybe I should take the bigger brushes from the start, and maybe we should also make the hair longer on the lower part because it's ending in the middle. Or we can just do this in a second pass through. Okay, so let's go back to the other brush. White brushes, fur brush. Okay, so if we now, well, let me see if I use a second mask and I paint on a second mask, that's not gonna work. Okay, and if I invert that, that's also not gonna work. Okay, so let's keep it like that and just paint on this and see. Oh, that's a lot better. On the edge it's not so good, and I did it way too much. Whoa, what was that? Oh, okay. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Let's go into the settings again, make this smaller. Let's make it like this, so it's really, really furry. Why is it not doing anything up here? Oh, because we didn't put a mask up there. Let me make a pixel layer below that and then take a black brush and see if we paint some black in here like the hairs look. That's maybe better, right? The second way we would have to do that is that we just copy hair from another picture. That could also be possible. But this actually does look kind of good, right? Maybe the head is a bit too big at the moment. So we could resize the head. It's a bit too much maybe for the neck. But it's a good starting point, I would say. Right? Let's look at the chat. Hello from my basement. Hi. Hi, Michael. Humphrey Bear is in cat motion right now. Cat feelings. Don't forget that. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Try using the clone brush. Yeah, I was thinking about using the clone brush too, or just coping over the hair. How much for that head? That's just the effect from SnapCam, which you can download for free. There's some other effects on there too. Yeah, I might do some more Affinity Designer tutorials, but I was kind of thinking I want to concentrate more on photo editing and stuff like that. Okay, so real quick, let's I want to duplicate this real quick and then hide all of the other layers and give this a second pass over where we have a smaller cat head. So I will put this in a group and then put the mask on, And this gives us the ability, as you can see here, the mask is still there, but now I can just move the head, resize it, and basically the mask down here would stay the same. Although, oh, is the other mask is still on. Why is this? Oh, because I painted it, so we can delete it anyways. Okay, so I have to redo this anyways. Okay, never mind what I just said. All right. How big should the cat head be? Let's turn this off real quick and see how big is the head of the guy. Maybe that's a better comparison. And then line up the cat eyes with the width of the human eyes. You can see here. Wow, that looks a bit scary. And so now maybe that is a better version. Although now we have a really long cat neck. Maybe we put the head a bit down like that. That looks about right, huh? And this time I think what I'm going to do is I will simply copy the lower part of the cat and simply like pull it down. Like make a copy. So we have a copy right now of that layer. And then I can simply put this down here, maybe stretch it a little bit up. Like that. We can overlay this, and then I just use my eraser brush on this upper layer. Make the opacity a little bit higher, the size a little bit smaller. That's too small. And so basically, yeah, I can now erase these parts here. That was too much. Why is this so dark? Why is there? I don't understand. Oh, because the back side of the cat neck is so bright, so dark. Okay, so let's push this up a little bit until here, and then make a second copy down here. Yeah, that's okay. So we can put all these together. Rasterize. So now it's one layer. And now I can take my clone brush like that and maybe copy around some elements. Reduce the opacity a little bit. Just to have this, like, remove this kind of repetition in the fur. So we don't have a problem with that. That was not good. Yeah, that should be good enough. All right, so now I make I put it in a group first, and then I make a mask on that. And now again, we take our brush, black, and paint on the mask, which for some reason doesn't work right now. Oh, because it's still in the cat hair brush thing. 1 second, let's go in here, say duplicate, because this is the second version. And then we go, sorry, it's a bit confusing, everything. Okay, let's paint all of this out. What is this? That's not good. Okay, that's a kind of another specialty of Affinity Photo. 1 second. Let's put the mask on directly. Okay, that works. So that's good. That was something off. I don't know what. Sometimes Affinity Photo does some goofy stuff. Is the picture? No, that's okay. Good. Let's make this translucent. Is still the neck is a bit short? No, that's okay. Okay. So gonna remove everything until his where his clothing starts, like that, and then we can paint it in again. By the way, if you wonder how can I move the picture so easily, that is by just pressing down your mouse wheel. So mouse wheel is like the hand when you press your like space bar on the keyboard and you move it around by clicking the left mouse. You can do the same thing by pressing the middle mouse button or the mouse wheel, and this grabs the whole like screen and just moves it around. All right, let's make this visible again. So now I hope this looks good when we paint it back in. Please. Let's select the right brush. And hopefully with a little bit of brush stroking here, zip, we get some nice furry. Okay, so the neck indeed is too short. Good, let's make this longer. So one more time, go in here and copy this, paste it in there, pull this down, maybe stretch it a little bit like that, stretch this up a little bit, and then use the eraser, make this line go away here. So, and now we should be fine. I hope so. So again, switch over to the other brush. Sorry, it's kind of a bit of a wild ride today. Is everything? Why is everything? Oh. Let's combine these two, group them, rasterize them. So it's just one layer. Put this on here. Paint on the mask. Good. Okay. There's a bit left. All right. So now we go into our fur brush again, set it to white. No, not too transparent. Okay. And now hopefully something else is wrong. What is going on today? I don't understand. This is not working. Why? Oh, I used the eraser in that. I did. So I'm sorry. This is a really crazy time right now. I don't know what is going on. Is this? Sorry, I'm confused right now. This should be good right now, right? So let's make a new mask. And there is something wrong with the mask. I don't know what. Okay. Let's make this a bit transparent so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, sometimes things are really crazy when you think it should work and then a lot of things at the same time don't work. Probably would have been easier to just copy cat hair from another picture, but I thought it would be fun with the brush of the hair. Okay, so fingers crossed. This time hopefully everything lines up and we can just brush some cat hair here, which should have been super easy. That was a bit too much. Let's try this again. That should be good. So let's make a pixel layer and then set it to black, my brush to black. And then let's paint below that. So we have like a hair looking shadow below that. It makes it a little bit better. That looks pretty good, I would say. The portrait now is a bit too high. Let's turn this off. Can maybe go like this. Oh, how is it when it's square? Let's see. Custom ratio. 1:1. Ooh. Oh, that's a good looking picture. Or I think that's kind of cute. So I think that kind of worked out. Maybe the neck is a little bit long. Maybe it should be like a little bit lower, but I think it worked pretty nicely. Or should we have like done like with the giant cat head on that? We can actually try that right now. Wait, once. No, don't. Okay. Oh, the cat head looks small now. No, yes, it does. Okay. Self-quarantined in New York. Me too. I'm here, like self-quarantine, not like I have to stay at home. I just want to stay at home at the moment. You need to flip the copy before erasing. I'm not sure what that means. Hi from Sweden. Live, how are you doing? Return from Spain. Oh, okay, yes. It's good that you could return from Spain. The brother of a friend of mine, he's stuck in Spain with his family right now, and they can't get a flight home, so that's kind of complicated. So this is like a lot of people, they are around the world right now. They try to figure out how to get home. Another friend of mine, he's in Mexico right now. He also tries to figure out how to get home. Thank you, Pope. Yeah. Is it hard to take you serious with the toilet paper flapping around? Yeah, today is a bit more fun, but to take me more serious, I can put on my dog face with the tongue. Today is more a fun stream. Okay. We have some other, I really need to figure out the other filters here. Some really cool stuff in here. I think maybe the dog is a bit too goofy. Is there a, oh, there's a search. I have not seen this as a search. Let's see if there's a cat. There should be cat filter. No lens found for cat, really? There's no cat filter? Oh. Or maybe it doesn't work right now, I don't know. There are some other cool filters here, but I have not looked through them. So let's go back to our toilet paper head, because for some reason people hoarding toilet paper right now. Hey Kenneth from Houston, Texas, how you doing? Because of skiing in the French Alps. Wow, okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Hi to Gibraltar. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Loic Dillian. From Canada, Quebec. Hi, thanks. Hey, Jeff. Wow, thank you again. Wow, that's so nice from you. Save your money right now in this kind of harsh situation, but of course also thank you for supporting me. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, thank you. Okay, cool. Because we have set up all the filters right now, I think it would be super easy to just make the cat head bigger, to just see that, how that would look. Oh, by the way, this like duplicating this actually makes the effect a bit better with the hair. So let's keep that and make another duplicate of that. And then remove the mask maybe? No, let's just resize the cat head for the moment and see how this would look if we have a really big head. How big can we go until probably this big? Okay, so now if we take this mask and we paint on that with a normal brush, preferably, we can just remove the rest, and the other stuff should still be there, so we should be good. Oh, okay, so we have the problem here with the beard hair. Let's leave that for the moment. Let's just go like this. Let's see. Let's remove the beard hair for the moment. Is that better? That's maybe even cuter, right? If we have a head like that. Maybe that's a better choice. Let's take the fur brush again. That's actually better, huh? Doesn't have some beard hair right now, but that's, I think, just for the fun of it, just to try this out, that's pretty okay. And also we could use our pen tool. Let's give this a try. If we use our pen tool here and we make a line like this, then use our node tool to bend this up a little bit like that. Let's see, like this. And give this white as a color. Make it a little bit bigger, like this. Maybe we use a gradient here. Oops, nope. Let's color pick over here from the original hair color, like that. It's a bit too long. One second. I don't think in Affinity Photo you can say start the stroke with this thickness and then stop with a smaller thickness. I don't think you can do that. But this is not too bad. Let's copy this some couple of times. Is there another hair? Maybe this one down here. Ooh. Okay, so let's take all of these, put them in a group, and then put a live effect for Gaussian blur on them so they get a bit softer. No, not that much. Maybe like this, 1 pixel. Yeah, it doesn't really look like if I could make these thin at the end, that would be great, but they stay the same thickness, and that's a problem right now. So that's not working. Let's just give this a try to rasterize them like that. Did it rasterize the effect also? No, didn't. Okay, and then let's take the eraser, normal brush, bit softer. Make this kind of small, maybe not that small. And let's see if we just go here. No. Whoa. Yeah. No. So this would be easier with a tablet right now. Just to get like the right position. By the way, we can make this bigger. If you hit tab on your keyboard, you can hide everything else, and so the picture is like just bigger on your screen for these kind of situations. Okay, here I can't do that. Need a smaller brush. Whoops. Ah, come on. My handles are not like with the mouse. Getting a straight line with the mouse is really not easy. Come on. Oh, there's mohair. Yeah, that's actually better. Although now we only have one side, but to make it short, I think we just duplicate this and move it over to the other side. Arrange, flip vertically, boom. Rotate this a little bit. And of course those are darker. So that doesn't work right now. If you hold Control and you click, it creates a mask around that. So we can now take a large brush with a dark color in it. Like, let's take this, like a dark brown. So for some reason, let's undo this. Okay, select, grow and shrink, and we make it a little bit bigger. Apply, and then select feather to make it soft. So kind of reducing the effect of what we have just done. So it has like a soft edge around it. Take the brush again, hardness, take the hardness to 0, make the brush nice and big, even bigger, even bigger. Okay. Should maybe be, let's make it darker. Oh my God. This went a little bit, it's actually not so bad, but the hair is too thick now. It's kind of, yeah, it doesn't work. It's never mind. Oh, I painted on a new layer. For some reason, I painted on a new layer. Let's take both of them. Maybe make this a little bit smaller. Okay. It's not 100%, but it looks kind of green for some reason. I don't know why. Let's combine these and put HSL on there. And then, whoops. Where's the, oh, there it is. And then desaturate, so everything should be gray. Okay, not completely. Let's do it like this. Okay, I think I'm getting too obsessed with this right now. Let's go and do something else. Let's see. So there we have the bigger cat head. Which should have been like 5 minutes thing just to try it out, but it was a lot more to do here. Can I group all of this? Yes, okay, that works. So small cat head, big cat head. The big cat head is a lot cuter. The small cat head is kind of, it looks nice. It looks like this one looks smarter and this one looks cuter, right? So this is also like, it looks like a kid, and this one like more like a, I don't know, teacher or something. Not teacher, but you know what I mean. Maybe a writer, novel writer. Okay, so we have some cute cat portraits right now. Let's save this. Let's go to tutorials live stream. All right. Whew. Wow. How long have we streamed so far? 1 hour. Okay, that's good. So let's have a little bit of a chat. Where's my screen? 1 second. Talk live. There we go. There's my full beauty of the toilet paper head. Okay. Whiskers, please. That will make history. Yeah, the toilet paper head. I think it will make history, absolutely. That's a good idea, yes. What was the comment? Who said that? CYC said you can use pressure to achieve thickness. That's true. If you have a tablet, because you need a, like if you have, and this is one of the reasons why you, if it's good to have a tablet, is if you have the pen, you have the thickness, which you can't do with a mouse, and then you can change a lot of things, like with the rotation of the brush, how you hold it, how strong you press it onto the surface. It's like it acts a bit like a real brush, so that's very nice, and you can do thickness with that, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's true. We could have also played around with the settings maybe, because can you, I'm not sure, can you set thickness over time? I'm not sure if this is possible in Affinity Photo. So when you go on further, it's getting thinner or thicker, stuff like that. Whatever set up. Yeah, that's tedious, that's true. I get obsessed sometimes over things because I want to try if I see it can do this or not, and would it work like that. And often there's like a faster way, but it's easy. It's like, it's more interesting to see would it work that way? Like with the hairbrush, you could have just take another picture of a cat or from the same picture and then just copy parts of it and put it on the sides and like erase parts or mask them out to like match the fur, so it looks like it's the same fur and you have real fur instead of like simulated fur from the brush. But I just wanted to see if that works also with the brush. And I thought it would be faster, but it's a lot of work also. Yeah. The small cat is more surreal? Yeah, that's maybe true. Yeah, that's true. I think if you have like, you sell like a fridge magnet or a postcard or something, they often have this kind of big head on there. Oh, you can't see what I'm seeing right now. Okay, but the smaller head is, yeah, that's true. It's more surreal. That's kind of also fun. And you can do a lot of stuff with that. You can put any kind of animal head, or you can also put a human head on an animal, which would also be nice and interesting. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Dennis. I'm happy you enjoy this. That's exactly what I want to do today. Be more relaxed and like just put the mind of people off the kind of situation and have a little bit of fun. So this is why I do these streams right now in addition to the tutorials. So these are not meant as tutorials, just as like chatting with each other, talk a little bit, put our minds onto other things. Smooth drawing. Yeah, the smooth drawing is there, son, but it's like, this has this rubber band effect, and I find it's really hard to control. And I don't think it's kind of the best solution for a smoothing of a drawing. So in other software, not in all of other software, but in some other tools, you draw the complete thing you want to draw, and then the software figures out what you probably wanted to draw, and it's basing the smoothing on that. And in Affinity Photo, it's like this rubber band that you pull, and you have to basically predict where you want this to go with the effect of the rubber band. On small details, I find really hard to do. So for this kind of thing, it's kind of hard to do. In other situations, it's pretty funny to use, although. What about starting something like, and then the rest of the sentence is missing? Yeah. What else can we do? More cat heads? No, I think we want to do something else, right? Let's have a sip of tea right now. Oh, I wanted to do some stuff with NIK Collection. I completely forgot about that. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, by the way, while we're just chatting, so at the end of last year, I said, hey, I want to improve some stuff in my life. One of which was to be more sporty, do some more sport, like multiple times a week, stuff like that. So I signed up to a fitness club, although right now I can't go. And I had to do a little bit of boxing with them, but then they let me out of the contract, which was kind of nice. And then I found something else. My brother suggested this to me, and I can really suggest this to you. It's called Freeletics, and the name is a little bit misleading because it's not really free. I think the free is meant to be on, you can train wherever you want. So, but the good thing is that the training units that you do, you can decide what you want to do. Do you have any gear at home? Do you not have any gear? For example, I don't want to train with gear right now, so I said only without gear. And then they ask you after every exercise, was this too hard? Was it too easy? Was there any kind of exercise you didn't like? And then they adjust it next time to your level of training. So I can really suggest to you, while you're staying at home, and we don't know how long we have to stay at home, maybe it's several months. I'm doing training 5 times a week, and it's really good. The first times I tried Freeletics, I really had muscle ache, like it's a really intense training at the start, but you can always say it's too much. I just wanted to push myself a little bit, but I feel like it's good when you especially sit a lot at home, a lot on the computer, stuff like that, that you move a little bit and try to improve your health like that. Jeff, life in Vienna is actually, pretty good. Very nice springtime right now. Of course, staying at home, but yeah, it's, I mean, a lot of people still go outside for a walk or stuff like that. The shops still have open. You can buy everything you need. I was 2 days ago, and they are fully stocked. So that's good. There's no need to fear hunger or stuff like that at the moment. Everything is basically like it should be, with the only change that you should stay at home. But I mean, like people in our age, like I'm 43, and people above that, how often do we actually go out? I haven't been in a club in like years, maybe with younger friends or something, but I don't know anybody in my age who would say, yes, let's go to a club night and dance all night and drink all night. And it's like something you do with 20. So I don't feel like I'm missing something. And of course, there's art exhibitions that are not happening right now, but it's not like I go to 5 art exhibitions a week or something. I go sometimes if I'm interested, because so much stuff is happening online right now. So I don't really feel limited in any ways. And we have so much stuff at home we can do. Like there's YouTube and Netflix and Steam for gaming and all these kind of things. So it's like there's not really any way to get bored. And of course, Affinity Photo. Well, now we have the opportunity to try everything we always wanted to try in the software. Yeah. What, after you draw a curve, you can apply adjust pressure to change the thickness along the curve? I did not know that. That's interesting. You can apply pressure. I have to read up on that. 1 second. Let's. Do I have something to write? No. 1 second. I have to get something to write. Wait. That could be a really interesting tutorial because I didn't know you can apply pressure after you made the stroke. What was that? In a curve. Okay. After stroke in software. Good. All right, there we go. You're a young whippersnapper. Okay. Well, you know what? I actually filmed when I was out, like, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I don't know, to take a parcel to or like a package to the post. And I walked in the park and I thought, hey, I make a video where the park is really empty because like the playgrounds are closed and stuff like that. But then there's so much people there. So I had to really try to find spots where nobody is sitting or nobody's standing to make it look like the park is empty. And I thought, like, why should I do a video like that? So that would be like strange, you know, like it's not like that. So yeah. And by the way, especially older people should stay at home, and especially older people have been at the park. So I don't know what's going on there. That's a bit strange. In Designer you can. Oh, but that's still okay because they're connected. So if you have both of them, that's good. You have been out for a meal, really? Is that a good idea at the moment? Okay, interesting. Well, stay safe, and yeah. Cabin fever. Yeah, that's true. People have cabin fever. But like, I mean, here it just started like some days ago, and people already like, oh, I have to stay at home after like 2 days staying at home, which I don't know, what are you doing? Normally, everybody's going outside constantly. I can't imagine. Okay. Let's switch over back to Affinity Photo so we do some other stuff. Boom, there's the cat still. Let's close this. And what else can we do? I thought maybe I am again playing around with portraits, but I thought maybe looking in Affinity Photo at these different effects that are there. No. Presets. Let's take this one for Instagram. So we have like this square format, portrait. What kind of portrait can we take here? Let's take a color picture. Can you drag this out and make it bigger? By the way, do you have this problem where no other pictures are loading? I just get like this and that's it. Because usually you should be able to scroll, but I can't scroll. This has been like, sometimes I can scroll, but sometimes I can't scroll. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe that's because of the update or something. I don't know. So often, and also the preview, you can't, I don't think you can set up the preview, which is very small. So, and also it's square. You can't really see the picture. So I really like to have a bit more of control over this, because often it's just better to go to the web page, and there you see the formats and everything. But of course, it's always place for improvement. So let's see. Should we take this picture maybe? But her head is a little bit big for the square format. Like not her head, but in the photo, like the perspective is a little bit big. This guy maybe? Let's put this in a new tab. I think we played with this picture last time, didn't we? Or was I talking to a friend when I showed the effects you can do? Because this was, let's take this one. This was pretty interesting. Let's save this. Oh, by the way, we have some funny pictures here too. 1 second. So, my Corona time picture. I posted this on Facebook. How people see you when you sneeze, and the like. Everybody's like, what? Is he sneezing? Why is he sneezing? And also, this is my cat Pelusa. He's really big. I mean, the perspective of the camera makes him look a little bit bigger, but he's a really big cat. He's really nice. It's so nice to cuddle with him, and I like his big paws. They are really nice. Yeah. Okay. Let's open up the picture. Let's maybe close this down. We don't need that anymore. And bring this in here. Where's the picture? There we go. All right. Stream time. Okay, that's good. Boop, 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 boop. There we have it. Maybe a bit smaller. There we go. Okay. Let's keep it like that. Lock this layer here. No, we have to, I think we have to make a copy. Rasterize that. We can rasterize and trim it actually, because I want to keep it in that size, and then rasterize and trim the other one. So we have one unedited layer, and then we have another one which is edited, so we can see like the before and after a bit easier, and also do copies of that. So that's pretty cool. And so I wanted to go in the NIK collection and just have a look here at these. We can look, what do you want to do more? Do the analog effects, have a look at that, or the silver versa effects for black and white pictures, because both can do really interesting things. So let me know in the chat what you want to do. How you find all these portraits, that's a page that's called Unsplash, which is very, very useful. Where is my, oh, I closed the browser window. So of course now I immediately need it. Unsplash, it's called unsplash.com. There we go. You can see here, and these are like free pictures. You can use them, download them, and a lot of cool stuff that can be done with those. Boom, boom. There we go. Unsplash.com. No, they are not from Google. So because NIK has changed, but I think always like 10 years ago or something, has changed hands from Google to DxO, and they made it into a commercial version that you can buy. You can still download the free version on their website. But it's an old version. I don't think it works well with Affinity Photo, and it's not updated for like the new computers and stuff like that. And also the NIK collection right now is reduced by something. I don't know how much, like 30% or something, maybe even 50%. And the good thing about NIK collection is you also get the Photolab software with it, which organizes your pictures a little bit, but it also has a very good raw development tool in there that is pretty nice. I want to do a video about that. I can't do it right now because it's like showing all of my pictures, so that's a bit of the downside maybe of that part, but I will do a video about raw editing with what's it called, Photolab. Okay. Go so small and large so quickly. You mean like zooming like this, or you mean when you go like this? So one trick is, of course, when you zoom, you can hold Control and then just use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out. So that's pretty easy to do. So Control key, press it, hold it, and then use your mouse wheel to zoom into the picture. But another thing is when you have the picture like this, and it's a very large picture, you can use the trick that I think again, yeah, you hold Control, you hold control and then it zooms, like it resizes around the center, and you can see like this is double the speed. Like if you go this, you have to go the full distance, but if I go like this, I only have to go half the distance, you know, you see, with my mouse. So if you have a really big picture that's a lot bigger than your screen, you hold control and you like, and it goes a lot quicker, a lot smaller. So that's a good kind of way to do that. Okay, good. Let's have a look at the chat real quick again. Do you have their link? Yes, 1 second. Did I close my browser window again? What the hell is going on? Okay, DxO, boom, there we go. You see, right now it's reduced. The upgrade is reduced, the buy now is reduced by some amount. NIK Collection, let's click on that. Buy now. Yeah, this is from 150 to 99 euros. I don't know how much it is in dollars, but this is what that is. And this is, it says here 2. Like NIK Collection 2, but you actually buy the 2.5 version. So that's good. Okay, so here is the link. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. All right, so this time I will keep the browser window open if we want to go back and forth. Let's have a look at the analog effects. I have to select the pixel layer before I do that. And then we can also go into the Silver Versa, which is black and white. Sorry, it's not Silver Versa. This was in the past, it was Silver Versa. Now it's Silver Effects Pro. Okay. So, by the way, if there is some of you, if you are NIK Collection experts, because I just bought this some weeks ago, I knew the old version, of course, but here's the zoom. And the zoom has like these kind of steps, 50, 100, 200, 400. Is there any way I can zoom like 52% or something? Because I can't figure out how you can do that. You can move around here and stuff like that. But is there, why would this be locked into these steps? Or is it like, otherwise the rendering wouldn't look good or something? I don't know. Because I would really like to be able to zoom it to exactly what I want and not, oh, this is an interesting zoom effect. You see, oh, this is really cool. It's an optical illusion. It looks like it's bending the picture, but actually like the surrounding is just looking so similar that when you zoom in, it's like a bending outwards. You see that? That is a pretty cool optical illusion. That's cool. Okay. So we can play around with this today. I thought it's like going into this, play around with this a little bit, very playfully, to see what we can do here. Is very nice. So these are all kind of these presets that you have in there. And I said it last time, but what I really like about the NIK Collection is that the things look very analog. They look really organic, kind of not so digital as some other software does. So I really feel like this is like how you say, like a blast from the past, where you look at the picture and it's like, yes, this is like how I remember it from the days of how things have looked or have felt, at least, you know. So this is pretty interesting. And so right now, as you can see, we are in Analog Effects Pro 2, which is part of the NIK Collection. And you can select here different kind of camera types that are simulated, basically. Or at least like these presets are saved under that. So it's not like, but it's like in that kind of idea, with the idea of this kind of camera, like an old black and white camera, like here, these effects are created. You can see when it's loading, as is a bit too dark, but you can always go over here and change these kind of, for example, here we have the film type, so you can adjust the kind of film type. Oh, I like this so much. It looks really like you remember black and white pictures on paper, because there's a lot of black and white that you can do on your software, but it doesn't look like it's on paper. It's just black and white. For example, like let's just click OK here. So we have this in Affinity Photo. And then if you go, let's make a comparison here. So wait a second. I will make a rectangle that we can use as a mask. So let's put this on the half point like this. Oh, I will put this in a group, and then I say mask to below. So this is like now the rectangle is a mask. You can see, you can't see right now because it's I did it wrong. First of all, the picture needs to be in here. Okay, let's pull this out here. Let's delete the group. Nope. I was wrong. Did it? Oh, it is wrong. I hit the picture, so this is why you can't see it, because it was hidden. Okay, so now this is like a mask, and you can still go here with the rectangle, and you can go like this, so you have like a before and after effect. So that's pretty cool. So now let's simply go here and apply a black and white adjustment in Affinity Photo, and let's see. Turn this off. And of course you can set up here all the different kind of how bright should each color be in this. Okay. But I think if you compare this, the NIK Collection effect, it looks a lot more like it's actually on paper compared to what is happening in Affinity Photo. Of course, the NIK Collection effect is applying a lot more things. You can see you have these kind of brighter edges here, and this thing here is darker and stuff. There's a lot more happening than just a black and white filter. So I'm not saying you couldn't do that in Affinity Photo. I'm just saying with some clicks, you get some pretty good results that are made to be looking like actual analog black and white pictures, while in Affinity Photo, you would have to have the actual knowledge on how to make it look like an analog film and not just take it and make it black and white. So that's a difference. And a lot of the part of what a plugin does is not only can it in many cases do stuff that the original software cannot do, but it also gives you like shortcuts to knowledge that you don't necessarily need to have to make this effect happen, but they are put into the plugin for you as a shortcut, so you can just apply it to the picture and you have the effect without actually knowing how this is created on your own if you would do it in the software. Because I think this to get this result in Affinity Photo, you would have to go to a certain learning curve to actually know all of the different steps that need to be applied. Okay, that was a very complicated explanation for something rather simple. Okay, so I make another duplicate of that layer. Let's go back into our analog effects and also have a look at what the chat is saying. Let's let this open here real quick. There we go. So what's the chat saying? Has a little warp. I have the old version. Okay, yeah, you can try if the old version works. I think the NIK Collection always also was standalone. So even if it doesn't work in Affinity Photo, you can use it outside of Affinity Photo. So if that works, that's really great. I bought this version because when I do tutorials on the software, of course, I want to use the latest version. So I have to have the newer version of that to be able to do that. Yeah. All right, so let's play around a little bit more with this, what we can do here. So we have looked at these black and white filters. You see like stuff like this. Like, okay, it takes a little bit to render. You have this kind of old schooly, is it like a silver plate picture? You have this sepia tone on it. It's kind of this distinct kind of picture you remember from like the old movie stars or something, if they take picture of them, or these kind of early photography. And this style is before the movie stars. This is like a really old-time style picture from the beginning of photography, where you still have this kind of brownish tone in there, the sepia tone. So that's really cool. By the way, it would be cool. I would really like it if they had a little bit of explanation here for each of these presets of what kind of thing, what kind of era, what kind of photography, maybe what kind of photographer does it try to simulate, because often it's not just the camera, it's also like different photographers develop pictures different, work different with their pictures, stuff like that. So yeah, you get all this kind of, also this here, I like these little details they put in here, where you have to actually think about that. Yes, okay, of course this is also part of an analog old picture, that you have these kind of brownish or greenish kind of effects here, that I think is maybe chemical degradation of an old picture. And I can remember if we had old pictures of my father, which is interesting, that he comes from a generation where you went from how can I say, from black and white picture to color picture to digital picture to now you have these kind of amazing smartphones that can basically do virtual pictures that completely change the structure of a photo that you take live. So to have this in your lifetime is really interesting. But I can remember these kind of changes in a picture when it's old, when it's laying around too much. So that's pretty cool to have these kind of things in here. Yeah. Maybe we should also do something, and I shouldn't just talk about the picture. I'm not sure how interesting that is, to be just amazed by how much I like NIK Collection. A fanboy stream tonight. Can you use NIK plugin non-destructive in Affinity Photo? No, you can't. That's really the downside. As soon as you click OK, it's done. It's in there. It's like rendered into the picture. That's a really big downside. The only thing you can do, of course, is you make a copy of that layer before you apply the effect, and then afterwards you can maybe like just blend it to make it less like visual. Or by the way, we can also try that. For example, we do this here. I click on OK to render this as a picture. And then now we have this, and let's see when we now apply blend mode to the original picture if we can get an interesting result. For example, this is not so bad. For some reason this is gray, but this area is not gray, which is based on the blend mode. We can actually find out why that is the case. Yeah, so the reason for that is, if you look here on this part, let's set it to normal again. This part is brighter from the gray, I think. And this part is darker on the other side, although it doesn't look darker. We can really check this real quick. Grayscale. So these are all over 50. This is under 50 though. No, these are all over 50. There's a little bit under, which is darker. And over here, let's look at the background. Yeah. And these are under 50. Okay, good. So that's the reason. You can see here, if you look here on this side, you can see if I click here, all the values I click here on the right side, those are like most of them are under the 50 mark. And if I click over here, they are over the 50 mark. And so if you blend these darken modes, they use everything that's darker than the 50 value. Here you can see if I go over here, it's getting darker, darker, darker. So everything below 50 is supposed to be dark, and this is where these dark blend modes, these dark blend modes, they start to kick in. So you can see here, this part, because it's over, all these parts that are over 50 on the background, this is where you see the original picture and the blend mode doesn't work. And here it's under 50, it's darker than 50, so here it does work. And you see also here on the arm, this is over, this is too bright, so it doesn't work. We can go again, turn this off, click down here with our color picker. And if we click here, you can see 65, 66, this is 45, so this is in the dark area, but if you click here, 70, 77. So if you look, turn it on again, you can see these areas don't mix, and this over here does mix. So click on that. Let's turn this off again. Click on that. Yeah, it's under 50. So that's interesting to see in live how this works in this case with a darker color. All right. But you can see, like, just you can also, you do some things and then you blend that and you get some pretty interesting results where you can play around. For example, also like this effect. It's strange, it's artistic, but you can do some interesting things with that. So, and it's also this kind of accidents basically where you find out things. I think a lot of in art and creativity is just like happy accidents, of course, then mixed with reason afterwards, but often you find something it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. I can do something with that. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, if you're not part of my Facebook fan community, probably have not seen that I made a new Instagram account because I wanted to do photography, but then I couldn't because now you can't go outside, so I can't do photo portraits and photo like creative photography with people outside. But I thought I can do it inside, so I started this account where I try to do photos, maybe every day, but maybe not. So you can see. And this is like a happy accident, things you see here, because this is coming from a software, actually from Adobe, which is an app on your screen, and it's called, I think, Adobe Capture. Adobe Capture, which is completely free to use, so that's good. Like this here. And I'm using this part here. And the original idea of that is that you like here you can see you can photograph, for example, a pattern of a wallpaper or something else, a design that you see, and this will make a line art, this will make curves out of it, and you can download the curves and use them in Affinity Designer, stuff like that. If you see a nice font somewhere or something where you say, hey, I want to use this to create something creative, you take your smartphone, take a picture, and then you just export the curves from that and you can use it in Affinity Designer. And the app is completely free, so that's pretty cool. You need to have an Adobe account, but you can use a free account with that. I also have a free account at the moment. You can see here, like with, it has other features too. Like you can search for colors, and you can search for fonts. Like, for example, you take a picture of a font and then it tells you similar fonts that look like that. Not exactly the same, but some that are similar. It searches for different fonts, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. And yeah, you can do endless patterns like that, stuff like that. It's pretty creative stuff in there. Yeah. And of course, like I encourage you to try out everything that's interesting, that's creative, no matter where it comes from. So I'm not like, just because I do Affinity Photo tutorials, I'm not saying never ever use anything from Adobe. I don't like their subscription model. That's maybe not the best solution, but they have some other stuff that's pretty interesting and some stuff that you just can't replace with anything else at the moment. So it's like, yeah, you have to take what you can to do your to address your creative needs, basically. Okay. Anyways, let's go back here to this. Should we? I will just delete this and make a new layer. Let's do it like that. Boom. Okay, let's go back in here. Should we play around a little bit with this? Because I'm not sure if it's so interesting to look through the presets. Let's see what the chat says. Oh, maybe I should. If you want to follow me on this account, I will try to post pictures hopefully every day. to do this kind of creative, kind of experimental, crazy kind of things. Which is maybe, wait, I want to say some 2-3 more things about that real quick. So the interesting thing is why I'm doing this is, of course, I could do normal photography, but the interesting thing here is, first of all, this is completely not designed to be used as a photographic filter, but it's completely reducing the photo to completely black and white, and these kind of structures where it really harshly takes out the structures that it finds in the pictures and tries to turn it into a curve. So you get these really strange results sometimes. And if you, this is a very minimal approach, a very minimal view onto what a photo can be and what you can do with photography and also with the composition. So you are completely reduced to just black and white. And what can you do with that? How can you still make an interesting picture? You don't have any gradients in between that. You can't use any kind of soft lights or anything. You are just reduced to this. And try to find out what to do with that. Especially you can't go outside. You have to do it inside, and I try to do it mostly with my face, as you can see here. This is a friend, but the rest is my face. What can you do that could be interesting? And there's so many interesting things in here, like just the beard hair and the teeth and stuff like that. You get some interesting structures where maybe, like, also thinking about what is a portrait, what is a picture, how do I, like, if I photograph a person, what kind of things can I bring out? Or maybe I can turn the face into a landscape or into a sculpture or into like a poetry or something, visual poetry, you know, like with these lines. I'm really, it's so amazing how these hairs flow around and how they look so pronounced when they are this kind of illustration, basically. So that's really interesting. Also, like these animal-like teeth, you see I have these a bit bigger edge teeth, so that looks also interesting. There's a lot of interesting things in there. And you also get reminded from like the classic painting things. So there were phases, for example, in Italian painting, where it was all about emotion. And a good picture was defined by if the painting can inspire emotion inside of the viewer, then it is a good painting, which was like a phase in the classic Italian painting. So I was a bit reminded when I looked at my face in this app, and I thought, can I make pictures that are very like emotional or represent emotion or inspire emotion as a picture? All these kind of things. So photography and editing of pictures and these kind of things can be so much more than just like trying to have a nice sunset or these kind of things. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that you can do. And some are more interested, some are less interesting. You can also find out about, like, you scroll through your own pictures and you think, what kind of pictures do I look at the most? What are, like, what is eye-catching? What is most interesting? What makes me think the most in the picture? And sometimes, for example, here you have these kind of happy accidents. So this is me looking through the downside of a drinking glass, and then you have this black square here, and I'm looking into my kitchen light because I wanted to have a really harsh contrast, but because I was photographing with my smartphone, this is the reflection of the smartphone. But the interesting thing now is because of this reflection and the eye sitting here, and then you have this shadow from the nose, it looks like an abstract painting of a face. A little bit surreal, a little bit cubistic from these kind of rectangle shapes and stuff like that. So it's a very strange, interesting combination. You have this circle around, which makes it more like mystical or something. It's really interesting, like accidents that happen. But you find a lot of interesting things for yourself, a lot of interesting expression for yourself in these kind of happy accidents. So that's pretty cool to have this. And by the way, which is also a good reason to play around with these kind of filters, because you look at them and you try them out and you find some happy accidents by just playing around with the different settings, sometimes going beyond what they actually have been meant for. And you find something that's really interesting that It doesn't really matter if other people have done it before. So this is not like the main thing, but you can find things that nobody has done before. But you can also things like, you can find things where you find a new expression for yourself or a new angle of you have never seen your own photography under this kind of light, under this kind of expressiveness or whatever it is you see in there, and you can like try new things. So this is how you develop over time by trying out things. So that could be really interesting. All right, long monologue. Let's go back to yeah, all these kind of pictures. Whew, all right. Should we look more through these, or what does the chat say? Let's go to the chat real quick. There we go. Nothing. Is people still watching? Yes. Okay, good. Yeah. Can you use NIK plugins on this? Oh, this was the old question. Yeah. I sometimes go into these like storytelling modes, full focused on just telling stuff, and the chat goes really quiet. Everybody's just listening anymore. What is the right expression? Anybody's just listening, not using the chat anymore. Yeah. All right. Let's go back here. What's color cast? Okay, there's not much in here. That's very small. Motion. Oh. Yeah, okay. You know, I would have expected under this kind of thing where you have a camera that you have like the camera, more like camera effects on there, like because film has a specific look from like the Super 8 film, and then you have these kind of analog movie cameras that are different and all these kind of things. So I thought this would be more of that, but maybe it's in another part, I'm not sure. Motion. There's some interesting things here. Spiral. Oh wow, that's actually pretty cool. I have not seen this before. Oh, you can turn this. How can I make it bigger? Zoom strength. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I've never seen, have you ever seen a spiral blur before in another application? Because for me, that's a first. That is pretty interesting. It looks pretty interesting too. Spiral zoom. That is pretty interesting. Okay, cool. What is this? This is also very nice. So this is a sideways motion blur. You can add a blur point. And you can, whoops, I think I set a second blur point, I'm not sure. Did I set a second blur point? Oh no, this is just the direction. So you can set the direction of the blur. What else can we do? Can set the strength. And probably, yeah, we can set an area that's not blurred in the like middle or wherever we want this to be. That's also nice. So basically you have like a, it's an interesting effect. By the way, and like this is again something that's really interesting that I thought about this, because usually, of course, yes, you have a motion blur in Affinity Photo, but you would have to put like a mask on that, because there is not just motion blur where everything is blurred, but of course there's motion blur where you have a mask on that because you're following the main subject, which you usually would do in film, but also sometimes in photography, like if you photograph a race car that's driving by or something like that. So where the race car is sharp, but the background is blurred, stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. It's nice that they have that in here. Yes, everybody is hoarding toilet paper. I've no idea why. I think nobody knows why. I think this is just like, how can I say, a herd effect? Well, what is the name of that? a crowd effect where you see other people do things and then you do it your own because other people do it. There's some funny videos online about other situations. For example, when people, you have a group of people in the elevator and they stand the wrong way around, and then a new person comes in there, and at first they're like, what is going on? But then they also turn around the wrong way because everybody else is standing like this. It's like just a natural kind of reaction we have to things when we see other people do things, you know. So and sometimes it has crazy effects like toilet paper. It's really interesting. Yeah. Social proof. Is it called social proof? I'm not sure. No, it's something else. There's some name for that, but it's like very common, and it influences us very much. So, for example, I'm very surprised why in a democracy we are allowed, for example, in the US, to show voting results before the main vote, because this influences the people. They go from, what is it called, from state to state and make votes, and then they show the result, and then they go to the next state and they make another vote, but the people are then biased because of the results of the last vote on who will win, who will not win. So, I mean, we work like that. Of course we do. If we have something and we say, yeah, this person is more likely to win, or this is more likely to be the better choice. I mean, for example, we're all using Netflix, or most of us use Netflix. I'm pretty sure there's other streaming services out there, but we are not going even to try that. Maybe they're better than Netflix. I don't know. I don't care, because most people use Netflix. So I'm also using Netflix. It seems to be the best choice. You know, so this is like how we all do things. Or, you know what's interesting? And this always bugged me, because I studied art, I'm an artist, but when I think about myself, if you think about books, how do you know what a good book is? How do you know what a classic is? What a thing is you need to read? Because of course you can't read all of the books, but when they say this is a classic, you read it, and you think, yeah, this is a good book, but you don't know. It could be just like, maybe it's a bad book from that era, and it was just in fashion, and you didn't really read the good books of that era, but the people say, yeah, well, the experts say this is a good book, so that's that. You don't have any choice to do anything else about that, because you couldn't read hundreds of books to decide if this was actually the best book. And by the way, one thing where this really came to mind is with classic movies, because you can watch a lot of movies, and I think I have watched in my life hundreds of movies. And then a friend of mine, a woman, she asked me, like, what are classic movies I should watch? And I said, yeah, this and this and this and that. They are classics, they are really good movies, stuff like that. And I was thinking, and I realized all these kind of classics where they say these are classics, these are good movies like Shining and Clockwork Orange and Space Odyssey 2001 and Alien, and these are movies for guys. They are war movies and aggressive movies and horror movies and all these kind of things. This is a classic male movie with a male hero who is shooting around, and there's Terminator and stuff like that. So those are the classics, but classics for a reason. And then you have Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket, and it's all about war. It's all about shooting and aliens and monsters. And, you know, strangely enough, most of the classics are like that. They are movies by men for men. You know, they are not like classics in the sense of these are actually the best movies, you know, so... this was like where I was like, maybe I don't know actually the best movies. Probably there are some others. Maybe I should consult some other sources to see what's actually a good movie. Yeah. So, I mean, there is like In the Mood for Love and all these kind of other things that are different genres. So not everybody, and not every movie is like a war movie, but most of them are. Most of them are about violence. Like, of course, there's Godfathers. And what else is there? All these kind of things, you know? I don't know. Yeah. I'm talking too much today. Oh, there we have Bouquet. Let's see if they have some interesting thoughts in here. That's it? That's a bit... That's not so much. I thought there's a bit more in here. Okay. It's not very bokeh, or it's like it's a little bit like soft in the background. Is maybe we don't have enough lights in here to have a bokeh effect, but this is like, this looks like a tilt shift effect. So these filters don't actually do like the classic, like you have these lights, circles, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. Okay. This is a tilt shift effect, so that's interesting. Like what is usually known as tilt shift. I know that tilt shift is actually something different, but usually people call this tilt shift. All right. Double exposure. This is, by the way, also a very nice idea, and I have to admit I've never thought about this as an effect. So it's the thing that they do here is, you can see they put, like, they take the picture and then make it bigger and put it on itself with a blend mode, and then you suddenly have a double exposure, and you can do some pretty interesting things with that. So right now it doesn't look like much. Like here we have the bubble from her mouth or stuff like that. But you can do some interesting things with that, but just resizing it and then blending it onto the picture. So that's pretty interesting. So that's what I mean. There's a lot of inspiration in these kind of things. This looks pretty interesting from the... the small version was better. There's a bokeh effect. Let's turn that off. This we can leave in there. Double X. This is also good. Okay. No. Balance. Let's make it just a little bit. Ooh. So here's the zoom. Rotation. Yeah, we don't see too much because it's very light. There are light leaks on here. Lens vignette and the film type. So you can see there's a lot of stuff happening in this. You can change the film type. We also have cool film types. It's pretty nice. Subtle film types. Black and white neutral. Also, you can turn it, like, of course, with the film type, you can just turn it into black and white. Let's go with cool. That's pretty nice. It's very nice. What does the chat say? 1 second. War and Peace made in the 60s. I have never seen that. Is it like, is there English or a German version of that movie? Probably. If it has been made in the 60s and it's famous, there's probably like a English translation of that. You always have 3 months of living items, really? Okay. How does that work, by the way? Like, you constantly restock and then you eat the stuff that you have. So like you basically put the new stuff at the end, and on the other end, the old stuff, basically you use that, but then it's 3 months old or something, which of course a lot of stuff holds like a year or something. So 3 months shouldn't make much of a difference from the taste and consistency and stuff like that. So, but it's a good idea because you don't spend any extra money on that and you still stock for 3 months. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. I thought, like, with this crisis, I mean, I can stock up on stuff and I can eat it, so it doesn't cost me anything to buy some kilos of rice and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice one. Oh, okay, so sometimes it's just like an interesting light effect that you get from that. Yeah, it's very nice. By the way, my cat is... Which cat is that? Oh, the other cat. 1 second. I'm back in 1 second. 1 moment. Belusa. Komm rein, Schatzi. Entschuldigung. Komm hier, Schatzi. Komm mal. Belusa. Komm mal hier. Oh, du dickes Matz. Sag mal Hallo. Sag mal Hallo, Schatzi. Oh. Oi. Ui. Oh. 1 second. Where can we stay? Talk live. There is my huge cat, Pelusa. Sadly, filters don't work on cats. I think they should have more filters for cats. Pelusi. He's really, really big, as you can see. Okay. Good. All right. Whew. All right. Okay. Toy camera. So if you want to do something, please suggest or ask in the chat. Use the chat because this is supposed to be interactive, so we can do cool stuff. By the way, this looks really cool here. I like how there's so many ways. If you think about this is always something in my mind where I think when you take a picture and then it could be 1,000 different pictures, 1,000 different versions of like just what you just did, but the way you can pronounce it, which is basically also how we experience things. Because everybody, like, if you go out and you see a flower in your garden, 1,000 people have 1,000 different reactions to that. Some really enjoy it, some really don't like flowers, some, I don't know, different kind of things, you know. And there's like in photography you can like express these kind of different approaches. So this actually also changed like the... Is her face rounder or is it just zoomed in? Lens distortion. So it is actually a bit rounder. Let's see this. Oh no, this is interesting. Okay. Chromatic shift. You have different types of chromatic aberration here that you can do, like artificially put chromatic aberration into your picture. That's really interesting. And you can have defocus, which doesn't do too much. I can't see the effect anywhere. Wait, let's turn off the other effects real quick. Can you see any changes at all? Oh, yeah, it goes slightly out of focus. You can see here, like zoom in a little bit more. You see when I go here on the bubble, you have this kind of noise in here and stuff like that. And if I go 100% defocus, this is pretty soft right now. And again, like I said before, what I really like about NIK Collection is, like, if you look at this, it's, I think, like, for my feeling, maybe I'm just seeing this because I like the software, but when I look at this, it's not just blur. You have like an actual blur that you have from doing it analog. It's different than just putting a blur on that. It's pretty good. Okay, cool. Let's go back. So you have some lens distortion here also. Slightly. Interesting. Okay. Can you do green screen in Affinity? That's actually a good question. It's called like chroma key. like this green screen filter. I don't think there is a function in there directly for green screen specifically, but you can of course like do a selection, do a mask. You have this kind of wand. Let's go and cancel here. Here you have this kind of flood selection tool, and with this you can select an area like a green background, stuff like that. We can try that actually real quick. I've never tried that myself in Affinity Photo. Green screen photo. Images. Yeah, let's take her. It's pretty good. This is a very evenly lit green screen. This isn't actually green screen. No, this is the actual picture. So this is like they put a digital green screen behind her for some reason. I don't know. So this is like more the actual green screen. Let's take this. Let's see. Boom. New from clipboard. This is kind of low resolution, but that should be okay. Let's see. So with the flood selection tool, you can see it makes a selection around her. It doesn't take the details here though. Select color range, greens. This did nothing. Maybe it has to be a pixel layer. Select color range, greens. Okay, that worked. But it doesn't, I don't think that's pretty, I don't think that's very good. Whoops, okay, wrong. Nope, that's not good at all. Okay. We have here our channels, for example, down here, so we can try that. You see here, composite red, green, blue, alpha. You click on that, right click, and then say load pixels, pixel selection. But that doesn't seem to be the right one either. You see here, like from her body, there's still a lot of nope. It's a bit better, but it's not like 100%. So I don't know. I actually don't know. I've never tried doing green screen selection in Affinity Photo. It should be able to remove the background. Of course, you have your selection brush, so you can brush on these kind of parts here and then try to remove that. Yeah, we can, let's do refine. And then we can go here, make this smaller. Yeah, that's pretty good. That looks good. Select. Do we need to invert the selection? Yes. Select, invert selection. Boom. Is that good? No, not really. Well, you probably have to refine that a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I have to look at that. I'm not sure if do a lot of people use that, like green screen photography. You have like, of course, backgrounds where you remove the people from like, but I mean like the people who watch my channel. I'm not sure if they use that a lot, but maybe they do, because for like if you do photo composition and stuff like that, that could be very handy to do that. So maybe worth doing a tutorial about that. Where's the chat window? Boom, there we go. Okay. Can you use the NIK Collection during raw editing? I don't think so, actually. Let's see. No. Because in raw editing you don't have any filters in Affinity Photo. But and this is the big point of using the photo lab that comes with the NIK collection, is that when you edit a picture, if it's a raw picture, it makes a copy of it and then you edit it in the raw formats in the NIK collection. When you open it, okay, wait, I'm again saying these complicated sentences. If in Photolab you want to open a picture in NIK collection, it makes it as a raw picture. If it is a raw picture, it will edit it as a raw picture, but a copy of the raw picture. And if it's not a raw picture, like a JPEG picture, it will turn it into a TIFF format and then edit it into the NIK collection. So it's basically also a raw picture, even if you start from a JPEG picture. So you just have a bigger color range to edit. So that's pretty cool. Of course, here you can always go and say, you change the profile, you go here, document profile, you can change it to 16-bit or 16 or 32. So you can do that, and you can see as I convert this over, and then I can open it up in NIK collection still. So that's still possible. So that's pretty good. By the way, I'm not sure if how we could here show banding right now. Could we do a test of that somehow? I'm not sure. Let's go back here. Set the color format to 8-bit again, and then let's make a layer here from a rectangle and fill it with a gradient. And let's say this goes from, okay, this goes from here. Give me a hex, there we go. Put it on the other side. Put this in here. And then we slightly change that. So now we have a very slight change in between that. And so now if we should, let's convert this into raster. Rasterize and trim. So there's now a slight change. Maybe I should have made the change a little bit stronger. And we should get banding here if we do some effects on that. Maybe, wait a second. Let's convert this back to rectangle. I just moved back like some steps. Let's do it like this. There's a little bit more difference in there. Okay. Rasterize and trim. So now if we open this up in NIK collection, let's see, analog effects. It's applying a lot of different effects. I don't see any banding right now. No. Yeah, maybe this doesn't work right now. I'm not sure. Does this give me any banding? No. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Yeah. Good. Is anybody still watching? I'm not sure. I was just trying to, if I can artificially get some bending into the picture, but yeah, I'm not sure what kind of settings to apply here so we could see that. Yeah, never mind. If I find a picture, I will try that and then make a video about that if it's interesting to see that. But like I said, with the Photolab, it's turning the JPEG into a TIFF format, which is an uncompressed format. In Affinity Photo, you have to change the format on your own before you start editing the picture, so you get more bit depth of your picture. You know, so you have more color values in there. All right. Okay. By the way, we have already hit like we are almost at 2.5 hours. So I thought this would be a good time mark for today. It's like in 10 minutes. So let's go another 10 minutes. Actually 9.5 minutes or less. I don't know. And then end the stream. So if you have some more questions, please put them into our chat. And also, if you want to suggest something we can do next Thursday, because I want to do this live stream during the Corona time every Thursday. Yeah, let me know. Okay, let's go back in here because I wanted to like just look a little bit more. I hope this is interesting. Let me know if this is interesting to look at this, what the NIK collection can do, and to play around a little bit with these different kind of settings and stuff like that. And of course, we can also maybe next time construct our own versions of those. You can see down here it says custom, so you can create completely your own versions of these kind of effects here in the NIK collection, like recipes that you can use on your own pictures. If you find cool things that are your style that you want to use next time, you just go here and you can edit like with this plus sign as your custom like version of that. Hi, what's your name? Tartantas. Okay. The NIK collection is a plugin collection by DxO. So you can use it to do a lot of creative effects with that, simulate analog film, edit your photos, which that has very special kind of formats, basically. Special plugins, I mean by that. To adjusting color and lights in specific areas in the picture. Then you have a specific plugin for simulating analog film effects that we are looking at right now. You have one for black and white pictures specifically, an output sharpener for different kind of output formats, like on the screen for print, all these kind of different things, and other stuff. I can't remember. Oh, Define is also in there, which reduces noise in a picture, which is also a specific plugin for noise reduction. And there's a lot of stuff in there. I think if you scroll up, there it is. I will copy this link again, 1 second. So here you can see, and by the way, oh, the hell, what was that? Oh, this is the redirect link from YouTube. I'm sorry about that. They are selling it reduced at the moment, if you are interested. I'm not affiliated with that, so this is not an affiliate link or anything. I'm just interested in their software. I really like it, and I think a lot of people use it. And we're just looking at what it can do, and it can do a lot of cool things. Good. All right. So I really hope you enjoyed the stream today. Let's look a little bit more at these different kind of things that the software is doing. That is pretty cool. Let's deconstruct this real quick. So we have like here film time, a lens vignette that is making it actually brighter, not darker. Then we have this photo plate on top. Ah, and this is the photo plate. Okay. Yeah. Because you see this, I thought this looked like it is now a reflection in a window. This looks like somehow, or it looks like a window, something that's reflecting in the surface of a window. So yeah, pretty cool effect. Although it's something completely different. Very nice. I like these plate effects. I'm not sure if they are used very much today in photography, or maybe I'm following the wrong people online. Probably a lot of people still use that, but I think they look pretty cool. You can do some really interesting things with that. And by the way, this is not everything that's in here. So if you have, like you see here, streaked, but then you have others, corroded, and you have concrete also, which I have to admit, there could be some more. I mean, these are just grunge textures, so they could really put in some more here. These are like not even 9, they are 8 different kind of corroded effects. And these kind of things, by the way, let's turn this off real quick. Let's export this. You can go, for example, here on your stock tab, and then you go to Pixabay and enter grunge. And they have a lot of that stuff, if I type it right, grunge. Not exactly that kind of type, but you can see here there's a lot of different kind of grunge textures that you can use. And you just you drag them in. Let's take this, for example. And then you just put them into a blend mode and see if this could be interesting. So this is a bit extreme maybe, but because it's a grunge, you can also use it bigger than it actually is from the pixel size. Let's see, for example, let's make this a lot bigger. This over here. This doesn't look too good. Let's go to our blend ranges so we can adjust it a little bit more. You can see it's slightly getting more interesting. Can also put a blur on there. Whoop, that was levels. Gaussian blur. So now it's a lot reduced, and you can still move it around and see if there's something interesting happening or such. I mean, this is a bit, there's a lot of structure in here. We can see you can still do some stuff with that. So that's pretty interesting. And you have a lot of different other grunge maps. And again, I don't like this small preview. That's really not useful, especially if you search for grunge maps. Let's go to the browser and enter Pixabay. You can also enter other stuff, like what could be metal plate or metal texture. Let's enter metal texture. So here you have some stuff. For example, this one looks good. This one looks interesting. This could be nice. You see, browser, I mean, you're so much quicker. You just go in, bam, 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 10 different things in a second. Very quick, very easy. You see, there's good effects here. I will just copy this. I'm not going to download this, so just to save some time. So let's put this on here. Of course, too small resolution. If you download it, you have the full resolution, but just to show you, you can see here. So you can do these effects also in that kind of fashion if you want to. Let's take multiply, and you can of course rotate them and all these kind of things. So you have a similar effect if you want to. You can see this is pretty nice. And I would really suggest, if you do this, if you're into this kind of thing, I would highly suggest that you create a folder or multiple folders on your desktop, on your hard drive, where you collect these kind of textures, so you don't have to look for them every single time you need them, and sort them into a way like you don't have to be obsessed with 100 different keywords, but just a little bit, so it's easier to find different folders. We say, okay, these are metal textures, these are paper textures, all that kind of stuff, and that kind of thing. Let's turn this off. Again, use this. It's also nice. It's a bit too low resolution maybe right now, but it's not too bad. And you can also put a mask on that, of course. So you can brush out things you don't really need. Hardness is 0. Let's reduce the opacity a little bit so it's softer. And then we can just like say we don't want to have the effect on the face because we want to see the face. By the way, again, I did it wrong. You should, in this case, always go like, take the image that you want to use as a grunge map and press Ctrl-G to put it in its own group and then apply the mask to the group. And the benefit of that is now you have the mask and the image separately. So you can see I can still move the image around without moving the mask around. So in this case, this is a lot easier, it's a lot faster to work, and you can see you can do some really cool stuff with that. But just moving it around and see what you want to do with that and where to go with that. And of course, you can also do the same for the mask. You can see you can also move that around and adjust that to your purpose and apply filters to that, whatever you want to do. For example, you can blur a mask. You can go here, filters, blur, Gaussian blur, and that should actually not work at all. Okay, interesting. But you can blur a mask, I'm pretty sure. Let's go here. Doesn't work either. Oh, I'm not clicking on it. What is going on? You can blur a mask. Why doesn't it work right now? This is the presentation effect. Am I missing something right now? Because usually, let's go here, 600. Yeah, it does work. It was too little. You can see now 400 pixels. I've blurred the mask. It's a lot softer now, but it's still there. So when I move the picture around, you can see the effect is a little bit fading out when it's going over her face. So that's pretty good. Yeah, you can do some cool stuff here. And of course, light effects, stuff like that. Really make a collection of these kind of things. Whoa. I was zooming out in my browser. That's not a good idea. Okay. When I enter light leak, does this give me something? Yeah, there's light leak. There you see, boom. You can save that. I am going to make a copy. You can download it to get the full resolution, but I can put this on here and I have my light leak. And of course it's in color right now, but you can make it black and white or leave it in color, which is also nice. You have like a black and white picture, but with a color light leak. That can be interesting. There you go. So as you can see, even without NIK Collection, you can do some pretty interesting, cool stuff. Let's turn this black and white still. There you go. Black and white filter applied to our light leak, and we can still resize it and do all these kind of things with it, whatever we want. Here we have now a hard edge, but you can put a mask on that to turn it into a soft edge, so that's not a problem. Yeah, pretty nice. Okay, so I talked myself through the last 10 minutes. I think that probably the last 10 minutes have been more interesting than the half hour before that. Although I really liked the stream today. It was really some very interesting topics in there. I hope you liked it too. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed everything. I did very much. And yeah, it was nice to think about something else for some time. Whew. So have a nice day. Let's switch over to the big screen. Talk live. There we go. Toilet paper man. There we go. So yeah, I wish you a very good night or a very good day wherever you are on the planet. Stay safe and yeah, enjoy your time that you have right now to experiment with Affinity Photo and all the cool things it can do. And also, like I said, Affinity Photo now is on a reduced price, and the other Affinity software and also NIK Collection and a lot of other stuff is right now reduced. So maybe take advantage of that if you want to. Okay, thank you very much and see you soon. Bye.